what makes a song evergreen? I mean, Yesterday by the Beatles is their most covered song. And in class, when I'm with my students, we listen to Yesterday. And I say to them, you know, it's like, what makes this so coverable? What is it about this song? I mean, it's been covered by more than 1,000 different artists. And it's, you know, wow, I mean, Yesterday is late 60s. So it's been covered by more than 1,000 artists, played all around the world every day since the 60s. Earned McCartney and Lennon a lot of money,
I'm sure.
And obviously they named the film about, you know, the Beatles, Yesterday. It's a massively influential song. But what makes it evergreen? What is it about that melody? I guess it's a very...
Simon Harris live from London, and I'm right here at the W Hotel with music industry veteran and all-around expert on everything, Lindsay Wesker, DJ, record industry, teacher, guru.
So listen, this morning,
Yes, sir.
on the Universal Show, we are joined by an extraordinaire journalist, historian, great DJ, and another thing, let's get it in there. If you're trying to do it, this man has definitely probably done it already. I'm just saying.
So let's fast forward. Let's fast forward to 1999. And I am out of work. And I see an advertisement in The Guardian. And it says MTV are looking to create some new TV channels, some new music TV channels. So I apply for the job in The Guardian. And I go to meet the guy at MTV. And he goes, "You're Lindsay Wesker. You created the music policy at Kiss FM." And I went, "Yep." He goes, "You're hired." You're a nerd. Why did I get hired? You're a nerd. Because I'm a nerd. And I was able to hit the ground running. And within 24 hours, I'd created MTV Base. Thank you. That's what I did. It's normal. Have nerdism will travel.
Yeah, it's all in a good place and feeling good.
Okay.
It's bizarre. I've watched so many videos of you. It's actually quite bizarre sitting with you in the same room. I've sort of seen you 2D for the past couple of weeks, so this is
Sorry, I'm so sorry. So sorry you've had to look at my face.
No,
I'm
not
so
at all.
sorry.
Not at all. Lindsay, thank you so much for sitting with me, man.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
A friend of mine asked me to cover him with the sax. He asked me to do a gig for him in East Cheap Records, and a pretty sort of standard gig, providing a bit of entertainment, nothing too crazy. And there's a young lady there by the name of Charlene who saw me playing, and she really liked the gig. We started talking afterwards, you know, playing, dancing, was having a good time, and told her a bit about myself and this podcast that I'm doing. Then she was like, "Oh, I know a bunch of people who'd be really good for you." And she introduced me to you. So firstly, thank you so much, Charlene.
Thank you, Charlene. I love Charlene. She's so cool. She's so cool.
Oh, she's such a great person, honestly.
Yeah, just so loving and giving and caring, and you know, it's like she walks with goodies. You know, she's always got biscuits and chocolate. It's like, you know, and she's always offering me goodies, and it's like, you know, those are the kind of people you need in your life.
Yes, yeah, and she's offered me a goodie in you. So I massively appreciate that. I would ask you to introduce yourself and say a bit about yourself, but I'm also aware, reading into what you've done, that could be the entirety of the podcast. You're just saying a quote unquote little bit about...
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, it's... So I joined the music industry in 1981.
Yeah.
So we are now 2026. So so that's 45, close to 45 years in music and media. Started as a journalist. My dad was a writer.
Yeah.
Actually, I started as a writer.
From 10 years old?
Yeah, I started as a writer even before I joined the music industry. But yeah, so music journalist, pirate radio DJ, record company employee, legal radio, television, artist management, kind of a bit of everything. And now teaching students about the music industry.
Yeah.
Teaching them how to make money, importantly, how to make money.
We need that.
So, yeah, 45 years of a really wide variety of things. And I've just finished a book, which, like a crazy person, you have read, which probably damaged you irreparably.
I've learned a lot about you.
You'll be scarred for the rest of your life. But the book I've written is called The Mistakes I Made and How to Avoid Making Them. And a lot of people have said, oh no, Lindsay, they weren't mistakes. You know, they were important things for you to go through.
Yeah.
And helped you make you the person you are. Yeah, I suppose so. But, you know, I have screwed up on numerous occasions. But in the music industry, media industry, entertainment industry, kind of hanging around and kind of still being part of it for such a long period of time is quite a feat, really, because I've seen so many people come and go, massively influential at one point, and now just disappeared off the face of the earth. So just still being in the game and hanging around after 45 years is amazing to me, to everyone else. And how have I been able to kind of hang around? I retain a passion for music. I retain a passion for music. Last night, I was on Spotify looking for new music for my show. It's like, no, that's good, but it's not good enough. Yeah. And it's like you go through Spotify and it's like there's so much good music, but it's like when you reach my age, I kind of feel as I've heard it before, and there's a lot of stuff on there. It's like it's good, but it's not good enough. I appreciate it's good, but it's not really rocking my boat. So yeah, even last night, just trawling through Spotify looking for new music. And I guess you do need to retain your passion. Try not to burn your bridges. Yeah. Kind of important. Mm-hmm. And you've probably experienced that yourself.
Yeah, I've burned a few.
Well,
probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, but it's like you really got to try not to. Mm-hmm. And there are people who have screwed me over, and I'll shake their hand. How are you? I hope you're well. Have a great year. Blah blah. And we'll get on. And it's like it's just important to try and stay on cordial terms.
Yeah.
With as many people as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't screw people over, because on your way down, you're going to meet a lot of them coming up.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Right?
It's true.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell. It's there's so many points there I want to respond to. One, actually, did you find any new music when you were looking through Spotify?
I did. I found a really, well, I'm about to start on the letter J. So I've got today's show sorted. I've got the letter I, part 1 and 2 sorted. Then I've got another special show. Then I'm starting on the letter J, in a few weeks' time. So I was looking for J's, specifically looking for J's. And I was aware of an artist, a Jamaican artist called Jazz Elise, but I didn't really know that much about her. So I've dug into her music, and she's got a lot of fantastic tunes. And there are a lot of kind of young Jamaican girls who are kind of experimenting with reggae music. So they're making reggae music. They were brought up on reggae music, but they're kind of doing different things with it. And she's really good, Jazz Elise. I was really happy to find her. So I'm definitely going to play her on my show.
Great.
And a guy who's been around a while, a guy called Jesse Royal as well.
Okay.
Really, really good. You know, a traditional, a bit like Taurus Riley, traditional kind of Jamaican singer. And I found a band called Jazzanova. And again, it's a name I've heard for a while, but I didn't really know much about them. So I kind of dug into their catalogue. And yeah, they've got a lot of really interesting stuff. Jazzanova. I don't know where they come from. But yeah. So anyway, I mean, exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting. I mean, I've got, you know, when I do the letter J, everybody will be expecting all of the big J's. You know, they'll want to hear Quincy Jones. They'll want to hear Michael Jackson and Jermaine Jackson and Janet Jackson and Millie Jackson, you know, and, you know, and Jamiroquai and, you know, but I've got to throw some new music in there as well.
Yeah, of course. And as we were talking earlier, and you highlighted the point that there's 100,000 tracks released on a daily basis. At least. So there's new music everywhere all the time, consistently. And how do you go about trawling through all of that? I mean, I'm sure you can't listen to 100,000 tracks a day.
No. I can't listen to 100,000 tracks. Nobody is going to listen to 100,000 tracks. Most people won't listen to 100,000 tracks in their lifetime.
Yeah.
So because of DAWs, it's easy to make music. Because of digital distributors, it's easy to distribute music. It's almost too easy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've got this figure that we've been quoted by the streaming platforms, approximately 100,000 tracks uploaded every single day. Yeah, most people in their lifetime won't listen to 100,000 tracks. So it's insane. It's an insane situation. I'll trawl through looking for stuff. Again, I can only really get behind stuff that turns me on. It's like I acknowledge it's good quality. But do I really want to play it on my show? I mean, I draw that line. It's like, I acknowledge it's good quality, but does it really make the cut?
Yeah.
And it's like, we make those editorial decisions all the time. You know, anybody doing a radio show makes those editorial decisions. I've got a 2-hour show. What's going to make the cut? What's not? Editorial decisions. I mean, invitations to a wedding.
Yeah.
We make editorial decisions. No, that family are not making the cut. They're not coming to the wedding.
Yeah.
You know, we make those editorial decisions all the time. So, I can only really play stuff that I can really get behind.
Yeah. So, strictly music terms, what turned you on?
I appreciate people that make music to make music. I feel that I can smell out kind of people who are doing things for money.
Yeah.
I feel as though I can kind of sniff out people who are just doing it to have another hit, just to feed the machine. I really appreciate people who are doing something different, something original. And in a way, my ears are just kind of just waiting for something to make my ears prick up and go, oh, what was that sound? You know, what was that? You know, I appreciate that little, you know, instrumental part or that little production technique or that little melody, you know. Yeah. And I'm just sitting there waiting, just trawling through Spotify, just waiting. Okay, that's okay. What was that?
How long does a track have to play before you go, that's okay?
Well, I mean, I can multitask, so I will give things, you know, a decent amount of time. But having said that, down the years, I have learned to intuitively know pretty quickly what's going to work and what isn't. And in a way, I kind of, maybe I'm being a bit cruel, but it's like I kind of can quickly go, nah, they don't really know what they're doing. So I can quickly rule something out and go, no, they don't really know what they're doing. They haven't quite found their sound yet. Mm-hmm. I can quickly rule that out. Whereas you listen to something else and you're like, oh yeah, they know exactly what they're doing. They're accomplished. They found their sound. They found their groove, their rhythm. They really know what they're doing. And it's like, yeah, I can trust this piece of music.
Got you. So when you get onto K, I've got an artist for you, Crisis Mikhail. He's a sort of rap, R&B. It's for me, he released an album last year and I'm like, I haven't heard a story being told in such a very visceral way. So when you get to K's, I'll send you Crisis.
Yeah. You send me that. And I will give it a listen to. I mean, somebody contacted me randomly, literally last night on Instagram. Didn't know him from Adam. Just said, you know, hi, pleased to meet you. Can I send you a video?
Great.
I was like, okay, send me a video. So he sent me the video, and he was very influenced by the 90s. So it sounded a bit like Tupac. It sounded a bit like Bone Thugs and Harmony, kind of that kind of vibe. But it was kind of almost paying too much homage to the 90s. It just kind of sounded like like a tribute band. It was like he was like a tribute act doing the 90s. And I said, basing your music in the 90s is a cool thing to do, but you have to build on that and find your own sound and kind of bring it into 2026.
Yeah.
You know, base it in the 90s, that's cool, but add stuff to it and create a sound of your own.
Yeah.
And I think that's important.
That's some of my gripe with jazz, because if you look at Miles Davis and his sort of pioneering of jazz, and you look at jazz now, there's still very much the idea that jazz is the forms that Miles wrote. His idea, I think, was to blaze a new trail. So by all means, be inspired, but that type of music has already been done. Why do it again? Why not do something new? So a tentative link to what we're talking about here. With the analogy of the three bears and the porridge, the hot porridge being, let's say the hot porridge is...
Where is this going?
This is normally, I hear where is this going so many times in my life. To be honest with you, I should get it tattooed on my forehead. So let's go with the three bears. Let's go with the hot porridge being a musician who is sold out for music. Let's say the cold porridge is a musician who is cold-hearted, or not cold-hearted, but wants to just get into the industry, wants to, like you said, make money. And the warm porridge is somewhere in the middle where you've got the passion for music, but you've also got enough business smarts and know-how to kind of, you know, have the wherewithal to get it onto your desk, get it played, get some attraction. So I think I'm further on the hot side. I love the music. I love making music. I love messing around with music, but I'm not necessarily too business-minded to be able to get my music from the four corners of my house onto the radio waves. I guess the question is sort of, what does that medium warm porridge look like? And actually, is it a problem to be too hot or too cold with that?
Well, you
Left-wing analogy.
really need to be in the middle. You need to find that compromise. You need to find that balance. You know, you need to find something that is you. You need to find something that you're proud of. But you also obviously need to find something that is going to touch other people and other people are going to respond to.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're going to have to kind of suck it and see, really. You're going to have to put stuff out there that you love, that you're proud of, that, you know, is really you. And, you know, something that you put out will get an unusual response. And you'll be like, okay, I've never had this amount of attention before. This is good. This is good. This is something I'm pleased with, something I'm proud of, and people are responding to it. And that's kind of your path.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to put stuff out there, quite a bit of stuff out there to kind of see what people respond to. But as long as you're happy with it, then everybody's happy.
Now, you've spoken to musicians like some of the most important musicians throughout the past kind of 40 years. And, you know, musicians who I'm playing their songs every week, not just on Spotify, but at gigs. People want to hear Luther Vandross, people want to hear Shaka Khan. And you've sat down in conversation with these people. And you've put on a lot of artists that are, you know, artists that I would have grown up with. And many other people have grown up with, and not many people will know that you're kind of behind the scenes in a lot of this stuff. Now, having seen a lot and spoken to a lot of these musicians and being in a room with them, close and personal with them, for those who are the evergreens, like, what is like the through line? What do they all have? I mean, I'm sure they're all vastly different, but...
Well, I mean, somebody like Luther Vandross was... no surprise, a lover of singers. You know, I think I'm right in saying he actually created the Patti LaBelle fan club in America.
That's great. I had no idea.
I think that's what he did. He created the Patti LaBelle fan club, and it's like, you're not going to do that unless you love singers. So this was a dude who loved singing and loved singers. And he was talking about how him and his pals used to rehearse on the back steps of the, you know, where they were in council flats, you know. The back steps were metal steps on the back of the council flats. And him and his guys, they used to sit there. It was the best sound, the best acoustics, you know, and they used to sit and rehearse and harmonize. And, you know, this is a guy who loved singing and loved singers. And that really came across. I mean, he was a backing vocalist for many, many years. And, yeah, I mean, he wouldn't have been able to produce a Dionne Warwick, you know, if Dionne didn't trust him with her voice, you know. So, yeah. His love of music, his love of singing, his love of singers really shone through. Shaka is, I mean, she's had a kind of up and down career. I mean, she's my favorite. Mm-hmm. She's my favorite singer. Her career has kind of been erratic, and she behaved in an erratic kind of way, and she was a bit jittery when I spoke to her. And but I was just thrilled to talk to my favorite vocalist. I mean, Jesus, it's Shaka Khan. But I mean, she's an artist, you know. I mean, like Luther Vandross, she's a singer, a real singer. And when she sings, she is, you know, every time she does a show, she's going to do the song a little bit different, because she's always striving to experiment. Even with a song she sung 1,000,000 times, she's probably going to do the second verse a little different, because it's like, you know, let me see if that works. And she's she's an artist. She's an artist. She came from jazz, and she has returned to jazz on numerous occasions. I mean, a very strong personality. I mean, another person another two people I interviewed were Nicholas Ashford and Valerie Simpson, and it's like that was an amazing experience, really, because so much of their music is about relationships. They're always talking about relationships, and so you just go through their catalogue, the lyrics in their catalogue. It's all about relationships, and their relationship was just so visible. You could sort of feel this relationship in front of you, watching this amazing pair of people. And it's so funny because, he was a big guy, 6-something like this. And she's a tiny little thing. And she's wearing the trousers, she's running the show. And she was looked at him so adoringly. And he was like, he was so happy to be there. And they were both looked so loved up. And when he passed away, I was like, oh my God, what must she be feeling like?
Yeah.
But it was amazing to be in the presence of Mr. and Mrs. relationship. It was like, it was great to meet them,
So what, another question sort of along the same lines, and I guess what I'm taking from that is the passion for what they do is sort of, I guess all of those artists that you've mentioned, like it's genuine. They want to, not just want to, it's their raison d'etre, it's what their heart wants to do. So actually they almost couldn't do anything else. So they become successful in these areas because that's what their soul wouldn't have it any other way, or at least it'd be difficult living, trying to, get your square into a round hole, basically. I
mean, but this is you as well. It's like you do it because you love it. And it's like, even if you end up a pauper living back at your parents' house, you're going to be saying to them, what could I do?
Yeah.
This is what I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah.
It's like, don't give me a hard time because I pursued my dreams. It's like, what did you want me to do?
Yeah, exactly.
What did you want me to, check out at Waitrose? Is that what you wanted me to do? Become a lawyer? What did you want? Become what?
What else could I do?
What else could I do?
Yeah.
And it's like, I write. I don't make money out of my writing. I write because I love writing. It's my idea of fun. I do it because I love it. And yeah, I mean, those, the people I've mentioned, they're artists. They're artists. I mean, you mentioned Miles Davis. It's like, if Miles's parents had said to him, hey, come on, man.
Yeah.
Get a proper job.
It wouldn't have went down so well. Yeah, exactly.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that.
Yeah.
What a cliche that is, but it's just an unbelievable truism. The heart wants what the heart wants.
It's kind of liberating when you sort of just accept, actually, that's what my heart wants to do. So let me facilitate my life so my heart can be well. And that sounds even more flipping whatever, but that's the way I find it anyway.
Yeah, it is liberating. It is liberating.
What is so we've got artists who have become evergreen because of their because they give in to their heart's desires, essentially. What makes a song evergreen?
Wow, what makes a song evergreen? I mean, I was actually only thinking about this the other day. I mean, I was I was watching, the Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen film and everything, and just thinking about that song, and it kind of got me thinking about the other long songs that are quite anthemic. I'm Not in Love by 10cc, Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin, anthemic songs. And I was, you get into a constant conversation with young artists in particular about the length of introductions and the length of songs, and kind of Spotify and TikTok and Instagram kind of force you to be very quick, get to the chorus immediately, repeat the hell out of the chorus, go into a fade at 155. And it's like, I don't know, these are songs that are being created for the market, songs that are being created for the available media. Something like Stevie Wonder, Another Star, something like that. Something epic like Another Star. This soaring song, typical Stevie Wonder. And Stevie's my favorite songwriter, favorite artist. It's like, who the hell is doing that right now? Who the hell is doing? Nobody's doing that. Nobody's creating anything like that. Nobody is creating anything epic, because they want to get played on the radio, and they want to get played on TikTok, and they want to get played on Instagram Reels. Nobody's creating that kind of thing, that 6-minute epic, 7-minute epic. In Stevie Wonder's case, 9-minute epic, Nobody's creating those things anymore. I mean, what makes a song evergreen? I mean, I'm not sort of saying that duration is what makes something epic. I mean, I've got some of my favorite songs of all time are 3 minutes. But it's like, I don't know, what makes a song evergreen? I mean, Yesterday by the Beatles is their most covered song. And in class, when I'm with my students, we listen to Yesterday. And I say to them, it's like, what makes this so coverable? What is it about this song? I mean, it's been covered by more than 1,000 different artists. And it's, wow. I mean, Yesterday is late 60s. So it's been covered by more than 1,000 artists, played all around the world every day since the 60s. Earned McCartney and Lennon a lot of money,
I'm sure.
And obviously they named the film about, the Beatles, Yesterday. I mean, it's a massively influential song. But what makes it evergreen? What is it about that melody? I guess it's a very open, expansive, emotional, musical melody. It's something that it's enjoyable to sing. It's pleasurable to sing. It's easy to sing. It's memorable. It's got it's got everything.
Yeah, and there's a lot of heart in it as well. I mean, I'll absolutely butcher the meaning of the song, so I won't even try to. But I know it's about loss, and it resonates.
I believe in Yesterday. Yeah.
It's real, it's honest, and it connects to the heart. I don't know, they've been able to transmute a feeling to the listener. On a complete tangent, there's a guru by the name of Osho. Some like, some don't like, for various different reasons. He said something really fascinating about art. He said that when it comes to artists and painters, some paintings should never be on the wall because the artist was exercising all of their demons, and now their demons are exercised and are on that painting, and you stuck that painting on your wall, and now whatever the feelings that they were trying to get out, you're sort of having that released in your living room. Do you know what I mean? And you're wondering why everyone's arguing all the time. But yeah, I find it fascinating when it comes to I guess, the heart behind music. And sure, there's a bit of a formula for an evergreen. How long, not necessarily a length of time, but, you know, does it touch on the heartstrings? Do the words relate? Is the melody kind of pleasing? Bobby McFerrin did this experiment at a TED Talk. Bobby McFerrin's my artist of all time. I absolutely love the guy. I think his work's amazing. I think his heart's amazing. He did this thing with a pentatonic scale where he was just jumping on the floor and singing a note. I don't know if you've seen it. And he starts on ba, 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 ba. And when he jumps again, everyone instinctually just gets the following note.
Mm-hmm.
And then he stops singing and is just jumping up and down. And an audience full of how many thousands of people are hitting every note in time, just because there is something inside so strong. it just knows. It just kind of knows. Anyway, that's an absolute tangent, but I like what you're saying.
I love Bobby McFerrin. He's just too much.
He's
I mean, you know, it's lovely to see a guy like Jacob Collier kind of carrying the mantle now and kind of, you know, doing those kind of things with the audience, playing with the audience, the way Bobby McFerrin has always done. You know,
it's like sort of. Hiromi has an album cover where I think the album's Kaleidoscope, if I'm not mistaken, and it's just a deconstructed piano. It's just pieces everywhere. You know, it's these sort of mastered music to the point where she's got to pull it apart and mess around with it. And there aren't really too many people who are that level of nerd. You know what I mean? And speaking of nerd, I know you've...
That's one of my favourite words.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I think we could both resonate with that. I'm a massive nerd myself. How has being a nerd supported your career?
I mean, being a nerd has propelled my career at every point. I mean, I wouldn't have got my first job as a music journalist if I wasn't a nerd. You know, it's like I knew about the artists, I knew about the producers and the musicians and the singers and the studios and the engineers and the record labels. I knew all about that because I'm a nerd. So I was able to jump into that job on day one, you know, literally feet first. I think I did my first phone interview on my first day. I was able to just jump in there. Spoke to one American soul singer and one Jamaican reggae singer, and I could just jump in.
Yeah.
Because I'm a nerd. And where had I got that information? I'd got that information from the available publications. When I was a kid, I would buy... New Musical Express, NME, Melody Maker, Sounds, Black Echoes, Blues and Soul. There was another colour magazine called Black Music and Jazz Review. And I was just absorbing. Yeah, and a lot of that useless knowledge is still in my head. So it helped me get my job at Echoes. The job at Echoes helped me get my job at record companies. The job at record companies and Echoes helped me get my first radio show. So, you know, music knowledge has always propelled me forward.
Yeah. Is it worth musicians also not just being so into their own world, into their own genre, but is it worth expanding your knowledge? Is it worth spending a month listening to purely, you know, Indian music? Is it worth actually getting other genres into your head, or is it, at least from an artist perspective, would it make more sense to stay within your lane so you can kind of concentrate the sound that you want to make?
Well, knowledge is power, so the more you know, the better. But also, I think it's really important to be an expert. It's really important to be an expert at something. Be an expert at anything. I love experts. I mean, even my mum has fallen in love with the bird watcher, you know, the guy with the locks down to his ankles, you know. Even she's fallen in love with him. You know, he's a bird watcher. I mean, you know, the television audience have never seen a black bird watcher, you know, with locks all the way down to his ankles, you know.
Right.
But he's an expert, you know. He is an expert and experts appreciate experts. When you're talking to an expert, you know, you need to be an expert. You know, it's like, you know, you meet your hero, and it's like, if you don't know what you're talking about, your hero is going to go, listen, man, it's been really nice to meet you. You know,
Bye.
I've got to go. But if you meet your hero and you're an expert and you can really engage in conversation, you know, you're talking, and your hero is kind of going, okay, all right, this guy knows what he's doing. This guy knows what he's talking about. Then you'll be able to have a longer conversation with your hero. But, you know, people who know their stuff want to talk to people who know their stuff.
Yeah, sure.
And it's like, you know, if you meet up with your hero and you're kind of, oh man, you know, you're my hero. I love what you're doing. And, you know, have you got any advice for me? Can you give me some help? It's like your hero is going to be very polite and answer your questions, and then he's gone. But if you can engage him in an expert conversation, you know, and demonstrate to your hero that you're almost on his level, then you will have a longer and more meaningful conversation.
Yeah. Well, the hero also won't live in this mystical world where they're on a pedestal, because you're in that world as well. So maybe it's not just, you're not just gleeful for the moment, but actually there's a technical thing that I want to know from you. I remember on that note, there's a sax player named Andre Saxman Brown, and he used to play for Girls Aloud. He used to tour with them. When I was younger, he was every sax player's hero, because he was local, you know, we all knew him, he looked cool, he had a great sound, and he was gigging. You know, I grew up playing in church, so we just had little kind of experiences, maybe playing for a party outside here or there. But he was on tour, you know, he was doing real music. And I remember when I got the chance to meet him, and it was a big moment for me. I mean, me and Andre have been friends now for well over a decade, maybe, going close to maybe 20 years, actually, a long time to be friends. And I remember when I met him, I said to him, how do you hit that altismo high D on the alto? And that's like a good octave above the natural, you know, sound. And he was like, what? Why would you even want to go up there? That's, you know, from that really random, very specific question, it just sparked a relationship, because it wasn't just like, you look great up there.
He knew from that question, he knew you were a serious person. You know, with that question, he knew you were a serious person and you aspired, you know, to be better. And he would have, you know, looked at you and gone, yeah, you know, this, this person can be my friend, because, you know, they aspire, you know, the way I aspire. They talk my language. So that's, perfect. That, you know, that was the perfect question. That was the perfect question. You know, as icebreakers go, that was the perfect question.
I threw him off, and I'm really glad I asked it. Can you? You said, actually, you sort of answered this already, but I'd like you to elaborate a little bit. And I don't know if we've got too much time, so I'll probably wrap up shortly. Can you hear expert in music when you first listen? Because I know you mentioned that actually sometimes, you can hear these guys know what they're doing. And if you can sort of tell that somebody or a band has got it together, they actually have something to offer, I can hear the potential in what they're doing. Like, what is it about the sound where you're like, these guys are cool?
There are certain musicians who are kind of good musicians, creative musicians, but they're not kind of just trying to do something new and interesting. They're kind of they're at that level. They're really competent, but they're not playing with music.
Yeah,
they're not playing with their instrument. They're not playing with the arrangement. They're not striving to just do something different. My dad used to say to me that one of the things he really liked about my writing was I used to play with words. And I feel as though I do. And sometimes when I send my work to my proofreaders and my copy checkers, they'll go, "Oh, that's bad grammar, Lindsay," and I'll go, "No, that's how it's meant to go," you know. Or they'll go, "Is this misspelt, Lindsay?" It's like, no, it's not misspelt. It's a new word.
Great.
I have created a new word. So it's like I don't know. What are my musical credentials? How can I sit here and say these kind of things? I'm a songwriter. I have written songs. They have been recorded. They have been released. I haven't written a hit song. That is still one of my ambitions, to write a hit song. But I am a student of songs. I listen to every song and dissect it. And in terms of musicianship, people don't think of Stevie Wonder as a great musician, but for me, he's a phenomenal. People just think of Stevie Wonder. I just called to say I love you. It's like, no, he's unbelievable. And I went to Wembley Arena, and it's like I saw him write a song live on stage. Oh, man. He's like he was playing something, and then he was like, I kind of like this, and he signaled to the guitarist. And he said, "Dude, just play this."
Great, I love that.
And it's like, this is a guy who plays with music. He plays with music, and kind of, when you hear other musicians talk about musicians they admire, my TikTok feed is full of that kind of stuff, because that's the kind of stuff I love. And when you hear the drummers talking about drummers, and they'll talk, the rock drummers would always talk about John Bonham from Led Zeppelin, and the kind of soul music drummers, funk drummers would always talk about James Brown's drummer. Man, why has his name escaped me? That is really bad. I usually remember that name. Anyway, James, the guy who created the funky drummer, James Brown's amazing drummer. They'll refer to him, and the bass players would always talk about Jaco Pastorius,
Marcus Miller,
Marcus Miller, and a lovely guy called Anthony Jackson passed away the other day. A bass player called Anthony Jackson, fantastic bass player. But somebody like Marcus, he'll talk about never too much. And it starts with him with the fret,
iconic, Yeah.
And it's like when he first did that in the studio, the arranger was like, oh, like this. And it sounded good. So, they left it in. But it was, somebody like Marcus, somebody like Jaco Pastorius, they're playing with music. They're playing with their instrument. They're always looking to do something interesting and fresh and unusual, and just kind of push. And I just think that's so important. Somebody like Frank Zappa, never played the song the same way 2 nights in a row. He said, what's the point?
Yeah, you've heard it already.
What is the point? That's not playing the song the same time. Playing the song the same way 2 nights in a row is not music. And that was his golden rule. I'm like, hey, I'm definitely not going to play this song the same way I did last night. And that whole attitude, I love. Your friend McFerrin, it's like always looking to do weird things with a song, do weird things with his voice, do weird things with his body. He was always looking to push himself. And you come out of a Bobby McFerrin gig, and these days you come out of a Jacob Collier gig, and you kind of you feel musical.
Yes, that's a great way of putting it. Yes, exactly. Yes, it feels almost lighter and
It's like wow,
fun.
I'm musical.
yeah, exactly.
And it's like for Jacob to be able to put that into people, it's like, you know, you come out of his gigs and you're just like, wow, I can sing.
Yeah,
Which is brilliant.
Exactly.
I love that.
It's a funny point, actually. The musicians and the artists playing a song differently every time. Just the only anecdote I've got for that is when you join a session band or a function band for the first time and everyone plays a different version of the song. Because it's never really played the same twice.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know.
Who's the arranger?
So, last question for you, and I end all of my interviews or conversations with this question. What is the single most important or valuable opinion that you have of yourself?
Of myself? Wow. Wow, that is a killer question. I mean, you know that not everybody's gonna like you. You know, it's impossible. It's you know, I've mentioned try not to burn your bridges, but hey, you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I am not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I remember some guy when I was a kid, and I was about 15, 16, he just walked up and punched me. Just,
oh my God.
Bang here, punched me here.
Jesus.
And my dad was outraged and found the guy and went to his house. Why did you punch my son? And this kid said, hey, he's always so bloody happy.
Wow.
He's always so bloody happy. So it's like, I irritate the hell out of a lot of people because I'm really happy. I'm really optimistic. I have this joie de vivre. I mean, I just love life. I love people. I love art. I love living. And I'm a really happy person. So my opinion of myself is that I have no option but to be me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but there's just nothing I can do about that. You know, there's just going to be people out there who want to punch me, and there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. If you want to punch me, you know, I get it. I understand. I'd be grateful if you didn't punch me, but you know, I am not going to be everybody's cup of tea, and you kind of have to live with that. You know, I've got political opinions, and I'm going to express those political opinions, and some people are going to disagree with them, quite vehemently disagree with them. I am going to eliminate you from my life if you have certain political beliefs. My political beliefs are that strong. We are no longer going to be friends. So, I've come to terms with that as well. I have to be honest with myself. If I disagree with you on this point, we're going to have to part ways. You know, I'm going to very quietly unfollow you. But I have no option but to be me. I have no option. That's I'm stuck with me.
Lindsay, thank you so much, man.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.